people might be thinking now, didn't rugby try to do a Drive to Survive with the Six Nations? But it's been kind of lost, or it feels a bit lost at the moment, or people aren't quite talking about it. So do you know what the latest with that is?
There's no official release date yet, but it's expected to be early 2024. So just like with Drive to Survive, they'll probably release it a week or 2 or 3 before the Six Nations starts to build up the hype. Because it'll get more people watching it then. And then obviously if people watch the show, then watch Six Nations, then they'll want to come back for more because they are doing it again the following year. But it's going to be really interesting to see how rugby does it, because we're a very private sport in terms of like I read that the Irish team like didn't give much access at all to the team room, to the dressing rooms, for obvious reasons as well, I think. And I also read the Irish Times did a piece, like the RFU, for example, only got a little over 100k for this access. So I don't know how much, and obviously that's the first year of it, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's due to increase next year, but it's not going up by much more at all. So yeah, I think what you'll see in that is potentially what you mentioned there is like, will say Italy, for example, will they give more access? Will that piece on Italy be more interesting than the Irish bit? I don't know. Even though Ireland were Grand Slams, but I think it might be something like that as well. Whoever gives probably the most access will turn out to be the most interesting, or the team that will maybe grow on the back of it the most. But it's going to be fascinating because rugby doesn't really do this that often. So I can't wait to see how it plays out, and to see if it's successful. Because I think like Drive to Survive, like I'll be honest, it's gotten me into F1 now. Maybe not so much this season, but it got me, like I subscribed to Sky Sports, I bought it, and I was getting up to watch practice right through till race day on Sunday, like nice. And I'd never watched it before just because of this show. But has it been that successful? I guess, like, because I know they did a golf one, they've done a tennis one. Like, I think Drive to Survive, for whatever reason, was just a massive hit, but I don't think it's possible just to like replicate it for every sport. Is it?
No. You're really right there, and I'm so happy that you kind of got into F1 from that. It's crazy. Like, people forget though, like, obviously Drive to Survive started in 2019 was the first season, and then I think season 2 was 2020, which came in the middle of the pandemic, like, you know, or like, you know, it was starting to happen. So you had the season, and then obviously Formula One stopped for like 4 or 5 months. And then what Formula One was really lucky about was that it was the first international sport to go back after lockdown, or even during lockdown. Yeah. So you had this thing of everyone at home watching Drive to Survive because there was no live sport. Something similar happened for me. I watched The Last Dance during lockdown, and that's got me massively into basketball now. Like, I love basketball. I wouldn't even give basketball a time of day before I watched The Last Dance. And then I watched that. It kind of got me into it. And I think Formula One had, like I said, this lightning in a bottle set of circumstances. And then obviously when they came back, they would, you know, all eyes were on Formula One. And it was an okay season. And then obviously we have the 2021 season, which was the greatest season of all time. And I keep saying to people, don't think that's going to happen again. Like, I've watched this sport for like, I don't know now, I'm embarrassed to say, like 29 years, 28 years. I've watched Formula One. It will never be that good again. And even if it does become close between Red Bull and Mercedes and Max and Lewis again, the novelty of it being the first time and everything that was around that will never happen again. So what I do think rugby has on its side is that, one, I do think that they've got, like I said, like, there are some interesting characters within rugby. They are all strapping, handsome young men. Let's not beat around the bush. That is good. Like, I think I said, like, I'm up for the yassification of F1. Get these guys topless. I don't care. Like, if it brings more eyes on the sport, let's absolutely sexualize these guys. I don't care. We know what they do. We can see their talent. We're not saying we want to diminish how dangerous and how skillful, how dangerous the sport is and how skillful they are. But let's engage everyone in every way. Let's show them the skill. Let's show them the personalities. Let's try and highlight the stories. And I think you're really right in that it'll be interesting to see what the effect is after the first season in terms of who gives access, what that results in, who's able to kind of grow, and who's able to capitalize off their new fan base and a different fan base maybe than they're used to having, who's able to kind of take that and go forward. I think Ferrari are a great example. If you look at their social media, how that's changed over the years to now being like an incredibly like younger voice than it was before. Aston Martin as well have got great social media, especially their video content. So yeah, we'll see.
I can imagine the France national team doing really well out of a lot of behind the scenes topless stuff, because especially someone like Roman Antomac or someone like that,
Yeah.
that's going to explode.